Okay, so today I'm going to take a look at some properties that are currently on the MLS, but I think they have a potential to be a flip. Now, most of the properties MLS are not necessarily immediately priced for a flip. If you identify a property that is potentially could be a good flip situation, you'll probably need to talk to the listing agent to see if the price can be negotiated down. But at the very least, let's take a look what we have. So the reason that I chose some of the properties is because they are in a zip code, in some of the zip codes that I believe will perform the best from a standpoint of a flip. And I judge the zip codes by how many homes are quickly selling in the previous months and what the average day in the market. And they also listed to sold home ratio. This way I can see whether the properties are moving or they are kind of stagnating. Okay, so the first one that we're going to see is this one in Grand Prairie. It's currently priced at almost 500, but when I started to look through it, what I noticed is that this house is not necessarily a severe flip, but it's like a cosmetic flip. You can see that, for example, this appears to be the master bedroom, how damaged the carpets are, all gold throughout. So this one may be just paint, flooring, slightly different colors, and I may not even touch the bathrooms except for change the gold color. But overall, this looks to be a just a very light cosmetic flip. The owners own the property for quite a while, so it is a property that would potentially could be negotiated down to accommodate the 70% rule or 75 or 80% rule, whatever you guys are using. But in my opinion, this one is a very light flip, good for somebody who is just starting out, not necessarily for an advanced investor. Okay. Let's take a look. Where is our next one? So our next one is this one. North Richland Hills. Very few of them are heavy flips. Many of them are just not selling because they are not new and shiny kind of penny. So for example, this house to me makes very little sense from the standpoint of how the rooms are segmented, the all kind of different flooring that and colors of the wall that I see inside. I think that this house could benefit from having neutral paint. It has a pool, by the way. Pool with a diving board and a pergola. I think this specific house, by the way, either this is some kind of algae or there might be some damage to the pool plaster right there. This particular arrangement with the pool could present some challenges because there is just not a lot of space around this pool. Also, this pool is very close to the side of the house. If this pool ever springs a leak, then God help the foundation in this part of the house. I would flip it, but I would not hold this one just because the location of the pool is dangerously close to the foundation. But what I'm seeing is that this particular house makes very little sense from the standpoint of how the rooms flow. I guess this is a dining area. I'm not 100% sure. It might benefit from having a unified, like just a couple of walls not locked down, so it's not quite as strange looking. And there's a sunken living room, of course. God damn those sunken living rooms. They're so annoying. And maybe take away whatever that weird futuristic backsplash and install something a little less excitable. Look how old and outdated these cabinets are. 1978. Just in general, take a look at another flooring type. Just in general, and then there's some kind of a weird game room in here. I'm not sure what that is. So look at three different flooring types in one space. Maybe just one unified flooring and knock down this wall and join this strange game room with the floor. Not sure. This house has been owned by this person for a while. I believe last time it closed, not in 2019, but they bought it at 240. So hypothetically, they do own. Um, Hypothetically, they do have enough of the equity in the house to allow us to buy the house and then turn it into a more straightforward floor plan with fewer colors and fewer flooring changes. Okay. If you're interested in any of the properties that I mentioned, feel free to contact me and I can give you more information, or I can investigate and find out whether the sellers would accept a smaller price offer. Okay, so this one is in Denton. Okay, so this house, just like the other one with the flooring changes and the colors, would stand more or less cosmetic improvements where consistency in neutral colors could become a theme. But what I'm seeing right now is that this house may not be just appealing to the buyers because of the Lord, 4 different floorings so far that I have seen. Just because the type of a tile and the colors are not necessarily everybody's taste. So maybe creating a more or less neutral space with fewer transitions. Yes, definitely not for everyone. So I think what this house could benefit from is whatever improvements, and I'm sure that the owners thought that these improvements are wonderful. They need to be brought into some kind of a sensible state. It's not a bad house. I think it's been recently flipped now. Whatever that is, this looks like a loft, a game room. So this is priced at 400, and they own this property. I cannot show the owner's name, but I think they own this property for over 10 years. So there's probably enough of the money in the equity for the investor to be able to make a reasonable offer and then go and change just the surfaces. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, this one is Arlington. Okay. So none of those homes so far has been real fixer-uppers. Many of them are what I would call misimprovements. Misimprovements means the owners really thought that it's going to look great, but it really doesn't fly very well with the buyers. So in this particular case, just like with the other ones, the property might just need a little bit calmer colors, like uniform colors. This carpet, no matter what you do with it, still looks dirty in this picture, especially with this color paint. So maybe tone down the color, bring the colors into neutral, maybe install, whoa, bring the colors into neutral, maybe install the fresh carpets, and then make this make sense. Stage it so it would be additional living space featuring a textured ceiling and carpet floor. So it is some kind of an additional living room. It just doesn't look good. It looks like a photo that's been taken by a cell phone just based on the layout of the photos. So I would say that repainting, reflooring, taking professional pictures, staging it, this is the ugliest. And then staging it and making it look presentable is probably all that it takes. Yes, definitely the carpets, and pull out those um, baseboards and install new baseboards. But just to remove the weird colors, install new baseboards, throw in modern looking sinks, and that's about it. So these people have owned this property. Can we tell? So they bought this in 2007 at 130, and they're asking for 319. There's definitely enough money in here for an investor to negotiate the price down and to get the property the proper facelift, the facelift that it needs to make it shine. Okay, let's take a look. So this one was the Grand Prairie. Where was this? Arlington. This was this one. So Garland. Let's go to this one. Now this is a true fixer upper. Okay. So just a normal run of the mill fixer upper that needs to be dealt with. This one is priced at 290, but they bought the house in. Now, just to let you know, I did not know the ARV for each one of those because I'm not going to sit and spend an hour calculating an ARV for the property that I'm showing you. If you're interested in a specific property, the ARV can be calculated at that time. Okay. I do not want to display the names of the people who own the property, but every property that I've picked for this live stream, they have at least 80 to 100K in equity. If they didn't, I wouldn't bring it up. So for right now, I'm just saying that this is a standard fixer-upper that probably could be negotiated down to a reasonable price. Okay, let's take a look. What do we have after this? So that was the Garland one. Garland. Let's go into another Garland. Okay. This is a not a true fixer-upper. It's not like in the previous one where you definitely have to put a lot of work in. It's just dark and gloomy and not well lit. Whoever was taking the pictures did not bother to turn on the lights. Like those lights are not even on right now. Unless there is no electricity in the house. I have no idea why they decided not to turn on the lights. But we can see that the flooring is not that bad. I'm guessing that this is the living room. I'm guessing that this is the fireplace of some kind. And I'm guessing that is the kitchen. So with this one, ooh, color. People do love them colors. This one is more or less needs to be maybe retextured so it doesn't look like a cave and repainted. So I would say different texture, different paint. Those actually don't look too bad. I don't see anything terribly wrong with the property. The only thing that I see is that if it was more lights, let's just say 4 or 5 more canned lights all on, pretty nice, decent paint, and then yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the property. just needs the cosmetics. Again, an easy one for somebody who just wanted the cosmetic for their first flip or so. Now, this one is already it's at 270, and I would guess that, let me see, can we see when they bought it? So they bought it in 2018 at $200,000. There is definitely a enough equity in them to go down, and yeah, this one is cosmetics. Okay, so this one, the Ravencroft. Let's go to Grand Prairie. Okay, let's take a look at this little baby. There's nothing wrong with this property. Actually, I don't even know why I chose it. Oh, this is what's interesting in this. Yes, now I remember why I chose it. It only has 6 pictures. Now, it does say that it is a motivated seller, and they dropped their price by 15K. They've been on the market for 103 days. For somebody who has a motivated seller, been in the market for 103 days, having 6 pictures really tells me that there's something going on with this property. I would not, if any of you are interested in flipping in Grand Prairie, and Grand Prairie is actually a very good zip code to flip in, by the way. But I think that if I was an investor, I would visit the property just to find out what is the reason for those six pictures. Because typically when you put that few pictures, that means that you do not want to show the house. At least not in the pictures, not to scare the people off. Okay, Monica Drive in Garland. Let's take a look. I apologize for my dog. Okay, 8 pictures. I do remember that I chose this property because it only had 8 pictures, so we cannot really see a lot of the house. The only thing that I can tell based on the picture that we do see is that it's not a fixer-upper in a straight, like 100% sense of that word. In my opinion, it might. Now, we cannot see most of the house. Please note that we have no living room pictures, and that's always troubling. But what I do see is colors, some kind of stains in the wall, dirty carpets, definitely colors, non-stretched wrinkly carpets. I don't really see a reason why this house is not selling, but they dropped the price. So this is what's interesting to me. They dropped the price from 300 to 240. So this is a $60,000 price drop. I would need to see what the ARV is on this one, but they've been in the market for 40 days with sellers motivated to sell. What's a 4-bedroom, 1 bath? Okay. Part of the reason why it's not selling. How many people really want to see 4-bedroom, 1 bath? So what I would do in this particular case is maybe figure out how to chop the space up to create maybe a 3-2 with a bonus room of some kind. But they bought the house, so they're asking for 240. They bought the house. Let me see if I can say. Okay, I cannot say. Okay, they do have probably over $100,000 equity in the property. So what I would do is I would just try to negotiate it down and see if it could be made into a 3-2. Okay, no garage. I have a feeling one of these, this is a converted garage right there. Okay, let's take a look. What else we have? That was Monica. Let's go to this one. I think this is another fixer-upper. Okay, this is your standard run-of-the-mill kind of a fixer-upper with purple carpets. Sometimes I joke about purple carpets, but it's only partially a joke. So they only been in the market for 2 days. They are at 275. If they do not sell within the next 2 weeks, I would definitely approach the sellers to see if they would be willing to negotiate. Okay, I think they bought this property in 2001 based on what I see. So if they bought it in 2001, there's plenty of equity in the property by now. Okay, we're almost done with this batch. So that one was below heaven, and I think there is only one left in this batch. Let's take a look at this Fairbanks. So this is an interesting one. I actually did a review of this property when we were discussing the potential rentals. It's priced at $221. The median rent in this area is about $2,100. So it is sitting right on its median rent for 1% rule. Now it is on the smaller side. It's only 1,150 square feet, 1987 year build. But in my opinion, the good thing is there is almost nothing wrong that I actually see with the property. I'm trying to understand why this house is not selling and why this house only has 10 pictures. Now notice that in all 10 pictures, there's something obscuring, like some kind of lights are constantly obscuring our vision. Obviously taken with a cell phone. So it's hard for me to even see what kind of condition we have with the bathrooms. I do not see anything wrong with this house. But the fact that we only have 10 pictures gives me a pause. I'm not sure what's going on with roofing on this one, but it is a potential for a walkthrough. And then if it's going to be a flip, it's probably going to be a pretty light flip for that. Today's in the market. That's it for now. So none of those homes currently look like they would be good flip because they're priced. Now we don't know their RV. They might be already at 70% RV. We don't know. Long story short, if you saw anything in this spread that you thought looked interesting or in an area where you're trying to flip, please let me know. Now, I do have a list of off-market properties. I'm going to do a review. These properties were on market. They were on an MLS. I'm going to do a review of off-market property that I see that could be interesting tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, if you have questions about the type, some properties that you saw, or if you're looking for off-market properties and you need help finding them, let me know and I'll be able to help. My name is Elena Garrett and I am a realtor with Keller Williams Central in Dallas. I'll see you guys at the next video.